Up next on Good Morning El Paso, the school district EPISD was hoping for $2 million in bond money, but the committee that oversees that money isn't ready to hand it over just yet. Also,
I saw out of nowhere a machine that looked like something from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang coming straight at the Capitol building.
Chaos at the U.S. Capitol. And did Secret Service know this would happen a year in advance?
and a first alert has been issued for today for those big winds we're going to have. We'll talk about that in your Storm Track weather coverage.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good morning. If you are just joining us today, a first alert has been issued.
And here's a live look at the city from the ABC7 downtown cam on the Chase building. Looks pretty still right now, but later on that might be a dusty view, right? When the sun comes up a little later in the afternoon.
I think that camera's really well anchored down.
I hope so.
Good morning, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. Let's go right now to meteorologist Crystal Cly and talk about how bad the winds will get and when exactly they'll kick up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we called your first alert, was for those winds, but also for the cooler conditions to follow. In fact, let's pull up your graphic here and break down your first alert. So what's going to happen here is a strong cool front is heading our way. As it moves through, that's going to pick up the gusts. It should start to pass right around lunchtime into the afternoon. And with that, that's when we'll see your highest wind speeds. Then tonight, behind the cool front, we'll have cooler than average temperatures. In fact, some of us near freezing by tonight, which is a bit chilly for this time of year. On your clouds and radar map this morning, we do have a few spot areas of rain. Take a look here. We've got a little area still hanging around the Sacramento Mountains, and then a little area of rain that is in northern Mexico right there. It's heading towards downtown and West El Paso, so we might get a little light rain right around that 7 a.m. hour, but other than that, chances of rain really do dry out for the forecasting period today, aside from, again, a very slight chance this morning. As for your temperatures, we're at 63 in El Paso and 50 in Las Cruces. Big temperature difference there, huh? That's because the cool air is starting to move into place our direction. The cool temps will keep your highs at bay today. We'll look at where your forecast temps sit in just a few minutes.
All right, Crystal, thank you. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office has yet to identify the bodies found in San Elizario yesterday afternoon. The discovery was made at a home on the 1300 block of Tango around 3:15. We're told Crimes Against Persons is handling the investigation. Authorities have not released the cause of death, but they are treating the deaths as suspicious.
Meanwhile, the investigation this morning continues into the alleged threat made by a middle school student to shoot his classmates and some administrators. It happened at Isleta Middle School in the Lower Valley. Sources tell us the boy posted disturbing photos to his Facebook page, threatening to kill students, a teacher, and 2 administrators. Parents at YISD want to know why it took the district so long to inform them about that threat. Pat O'Neill, Associate Superintendent, tells us they didn't want to send out any information until they had the facts to move forward. YISD has not said if the student is facing criminal charges or if he's being punished, but it does stress that Isleta Middle School is safe.
The El Paso School District is preparing to implement a modernization plan that will cost taxpayers upwards of $500 million. At last night's meeting, the district asked a committee that oversees the reallocation of leftover bond money from 2007 to put about $2 million of that money towards the projects in that modernization plan. But the committee said no. It said it was uncomfortable making decisions without the elected Board of Trustees in place. The unelected Board of Managers is set to complete its 2-year term this May after the election of 3 trustees. By summer, the elected Board of 7 will officially take over.
I felt uncomfortable with the decision being made very quickly. We have time. If we wait a couple of months, we'll have the Board of Trustees in place, and they will be able to make decisions that are long-term.
Remember, the committee just offers recommendations, which means the district and Board of Managers could choose to take that money anyway. Now, the Board of Managers is expected to officially approve moving forward with the modernization plan next week.
7 months into University Medical Center's fiscal year, and we're still waiting to find out how much CEO Jim Valenti may earn in incentives. On Tuesday, the UMC Board of Managers approved Valenti's goals. For Valenti to get any incentives, he must avoid another downgrade in the hospital's bond rating and must maintain the Joint Commission certification at the hospital. So here's a look at Valenti's goals for this fiscal year. Keep at least $2.5 million in net assets, ensure the financial health of the hospital, focus on patient satisfaction and quality of care, and accomplish the UMC strategic plan. Again, we still don't know exactly how much he would receive for meeting those particular goals. An update now to that stabbing that we brought you as breaking news yesterday morning. It happened around 6:30 on the 1300 block of Myrtle in Central. This is video of where the woman was found on the 600 block of Dallas. Police say a 24-year-old woman was walking when two men came up to her and told her to hand over her backpack. When she said no, police said one of them stabbed her. The men stabbed her 2 times. No arrests have been made, but if you have any information, you are asked to call police.
Classes at the Northeast El Paso Community College will remain as scheduled today, Northwest Campus. Now, the classes were canceled Tuesday and did not pick up until 5:30 last night. It turns out that a surge knocked out power to the Trans Mountain campus and burned out the wires underground. Now, electric crews have installed a temporary fix for now while they do more investigating at the Northeast Campus. The father of a now former Los Angeles police officer has been indicted here in El Paso by a federal grand jury. 53-year-old Victor Solis is accused of making a false statement to FBI agents concerning the ongoing investigation and search for his fugitive son. Now, he was arrested yesterday in Lancaster, California. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live with the latest details. Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie. Victor Solis' son remains on the run and is believed to be in Mexico. Henry Solis, a former LAPD officer, is wanted for his alleged involvement in a murder that happened last month in Pomona, California. Victor Solis, seen here in the hat, told federal investigators that he dropped off his son Henry at a bus stop here in El Paso last month. But as you can see from these pictures, Solis actually walked the officer across the border into Juarez. These surveillance images were taken at the Paso del Norte port of entry on March 14th. The FBI is now offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest of Henry Solis. Meanwhile, his father remains in federal custody and is waiting to be transferred here to El Paso. If you have any information about Henry Solis' whereabouts, you are asked to call the FBI El Paso division to the number on your screen, 832-5000, again 832-5000. Stephanie, back to you.
All right, Denise, thank you. This morning, feds are still wondering how a lone man in a tiny copter flew right through restricted airspace at the U.S. Capitol. ABC's Valle is in Washington with a look at the man and his mission.
A gyrocopter buzzing over monuments and alarmed tourists.
This is not good, people.
Heading straight toward the U.S. Capitol.
We both looked at it and said, oh, where the heck is that going?
The tiny aircraft landing on the west front lawn, immediately swarmed by police. The area on lockdown.
Get out of here now.
While the bomb squad checked for weapons and explosives. But there was no harm intended by the pilot.
The guy giving us a thumbs up and just like flew on by.
He is 61-year-old Doug Hughes, a postal worker from Florida who posted this video online showing the training for the stunt he began more than a year ago, planning to deliver letters to lawmakers demanding campaign finance reform.
I'd rather die in the flight than live to be 80 years old and see this country fall.
Hughes knew he could be shot down in restricted airspace, but he did notify Secret Service about his plans. Agents spoke with him and a friend a year ago.
He wanted to do something that was spectacular. I was against it from the beginning and to the end because I knew how dangerous it was.
Hughes' flight within 100 yards of the Capitol building, now raising new concerns about security.
How does an individual in the airspace get that close?
Hughes' tiny aircraft was not detected as it entered restricted airspace. NORAD says it is now working to find out how its systems missed it. Bazi Kanani, ABC News, Washington.
Here's a live look at traffic. If you're just joining us, things have been moving along just fine this morning. I-10 in Hawkins and now I-10 in Airway. No problems.
At 6:09 now, a Texas CEO is causing controversy today. This after she says a woman shouldn't be president because of hormones. What she says she'll do if Hillary Clinton wins in 2016.
Also, an article slamming El Paso for not having good barbecue. The owner of a local barbecue place tells us what she thinks about that.
And a first alert has been issued. Meteorologist Crystal Clyde has your detailed forecast.
And that includes high winds and much cooler temps. We'll look at how low your temperatures go right after the break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.